What's good, family? It's your boy Pepe, and welcome to the segment brought to you by Mind Your Wellness podcast. This is not an interview, it's an adventure in conversation. So, hop on. Today, I have the crew from Mind Your Wellness Season 3, Episode 1 with me. Woman Z, Patricia, Obel, Dr. Belizer. What's going on, y'all? All right, y'all. So I have a question for you, that's a fun one. Check this out. If you had one commitment that you think would help the Black community, what would it be? If you had one commitment that you think would help the Black community, what would it be? Who wants to go first?
Let me go first since they might steal mine. Thou shalt not give a penny to the church until 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 thou shalt not give a penny to the church until you become a shareholder of all the assets that the church own.
Nice.
My goodness.
Mine is
That's
close to you.
on.
I like that.
Deep.
I love that.
Does that include the small churches?
It's a church.
So how would that process, like how would
That's
they go about that
problematic.
process?
Well, you heard of this idea of prosperity gospel.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to me that the people don't get rich from the notion, but the leaders get rich. So you have a church that has a barbershop, restaurant,
That's true.
$1 million building,
Hospital.
asset. They have a school that is it's not a tuition-free school.
Yeah, it's
People
always a
pay
private
to
school.
go to the school. Yet the little guy in that church continue to give money, and sometimes those little members they can barely eat.
Yeah.
So my thing is, make me a shareholder of all the asset that the church has. If we have 5,000 members, then we are 5,000 strong. Meaning that if you have a barbershop, if the whole asset of the organization is $1 million, just like the stock market.
Mhm.
If I buy a share of a specific stock, then part of this little company is mine. So why must I give all the time towards something that is not contributing to my betterment?
Portfolio.
I love
I
it.
like that.
So all those assets would have to be made public.
That's
They have
it.
a way around it.
because they aren't.
Well,
That is true.
well, they have transparency, right? If I'm giving you money,
True.
if I give you $10,000 for the year that you invested in whatever, why shouldn't I know where it's going?
Mhm.
Why shouldn't I have a say so
Mm.
into where the money is going?
But that's
Why-
only for people that are donating or that
Members,
contributing.
well, members.
Yeah.
If you're a member
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
church,
Okay.
you become
If you
you
took-
become
okay.
a shareholder.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Then yeah. Now we can determine that, hey, you know what? We're gonna part of the profit that we make, we're gonna give it to the church to pay the light bills and do all the
Right.
things
Right.
to make it
Right.
function.
Mhm.
Right.
But the profit,
Yeah. And I suspect they would receive a lot more money by doing that too.
They would, but also imagine the board meeting of that church.
well, but
That's a whole
You know
service.
what? That is true.
But
That's
you-
a whole service.
but that's-
Everybody would feel like they have a say
I
in how things should be
know.
run.
But what do you
Especially in
think-
Black culture?
what do you think the board meetings of
Yeah.
all those companies like? Do you think it's very peaceful? Don't you think whenever you go to your HOA meeting, you see how that is.
Mhm.
Whenever people put money into something, they want questions to be answered,
Absurd.
and that's okay.
Mhm.
I mean, they do have those meetings at church regardless.
Yeah, they
of
do,
the
but it's
share,
not everybody included.
Yeah,
But it's
everybody's
not-
included.
it's not as transparent
No,
here.
everybody's
It's not as
included if
transparent.
they're members. That
No,
means if
if
you're a
they're
member,
members.
everybody's
Or-
included. They
or
do
they
have
could-
those.
Or
But they
could
don't talk
choose-
about everything.
They
They
could
don't talk
choose
about-
to elect a board. But we could have a 5,000 member church.
Uh-huh.
Then we elect a board of 11 electors
represent.
or representative to
Okay.
make decision on behalf of the church for the assets.
Mhm, mhm.
Determine how
Okay.
the money is spent.
Yeah,
but
that's
I
a
know
better idea.
when I look at my portfolio, I know these people are making decision for me.
Mm-hmm.
The money that I put in is actually beneficial to me.
Okay,
The church is
I
already a
have a-
politic place. So
I
might
have
as
a
well
question for
turn
you.
it into-
Are you greater than God?
Am I greater than God?
Yeah.
Wait.
Because here is where we're gonna go with that. You said thou shalt not give a penny to the church until you have a stake in it. That's not what the Bible says. The Bible said, bring, resources to my house so the house can be filled and cared for. And now if those people are using the money to do something they're not supposed to do with that money, they're paid for the consequence. But as for my responsibility to God
I still have
and
to
the Bible, my part is to give to the church.
That's one school of thought. There is
Well, it is
another one.
biblical.
No.
It is
Well, but
biblical.
there's another
Right. It is biblical.
No, there's another school of thought that
Right.
says that the offering and the tithe is no longer needed in the church because at the time that's you need it at the time for the survival of the leaders. It's saying that in our time currently, that is no longer the case. There is that school of thought out there as well. So yeah. If the Bible says bring the money so we can care for the church, the question becomes, if the church has enough assets to care for itself, then should I continue to bring the money?
Yeah, but it's a matter of faithfulness.
Yeah. The money comes because of your relationship with
Not
God.
how it works. That's not how it works. We cannot have it both ways. You said the purpose of the money is to take care of the church. But if the church members...
That's not the only purpose.
That's not the only.
What's
I'm going to say
the
that.
other purpose?
The other purpose is my faithfulness toward what God has given me. Because there is always a portion of whatever God gives me, there is a portion of that goes back to doing God's work.
I'm sure we can legislate that.
Yeah,
we can find a way to make it apply to God and make it apply to the people. What we have now, we have something that is working for the leaders, where they're getting all those Mercedes where they never work, and then the little people is still dying of nothing. That's a problem.
Right.
Especially in the Black community.
Yeah.
But would it be different if you know that you're giving that money to the church and then there's something at the church that is there for its people? Like since we're talking about the little people in the church, like if you know there's like an organization or something within the church that is there for the people, would that make a difference in terms of giving?
No, because God is my dad as well. This is a rich God. I cannot be his son and for me to be broke. This idea of donation, there's something, we need to move the church to a place where I should not be relying on the donation and the handout. So the idea of being investors and shareholders is going to take me from a place where if I am the child of a king, I must live like a king.
Right.
That's where it's taking me. This whole notion that I have to wait for missionaries, wait for Europeans to come give me a fake gospel with a plate of food. Is, you cannot tell me that was that was God's purpose for me.
Yeah.
It does not make sense.
Yeah. Well, I love that segment. Already. I feel like it's going to turn into a whole thing.
You want to share yours?
Yes. I would say thou shalt let your children play and relax.
Define play and relax.
I feel like because there's so much pressure for Black children to be highly successful, I was actually watching something about it. So much pressure, like you have to be the best. And there's something that always kills me, like you already Black, so you have to be the best at your game and things. And I feel like even though these things are important, you have to be excellent, in my household, I tell my daughter, even if you finish your homework, if I feel like it's too easy for her this week, she's like, I'm finished my homework. I'm like, no, you're going to go to the next homework. I like that part of excellence, but at the same time, I don't want my children not to have a childhood, where your child is already thinking about being excellent, being pressured, and they're having all of this anxiety because I want to be excellent in the face of the white men, or the white people need to accept me for my excellence. So now, I think we're forgetting the well-being, like the childhood that I had, even though it was in Haiti, but it was like I used to walk to the beach. I had time to play and wonder. And I feel like that contribute to my creativity and my intelligence. But raising children in America, where you're like, they're like in 5 different things because we want them to stand out in the white culture. And you have white children. Actually, I'll take another example. Sometimes you have white children they're allowed to wonder. Like, how often you see Black parents let their children walk to school or do certain kind of things?
Is it race or culture?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a race of culture thing, but I know white children are allowed to play and wonder, but
I would argue it's
actually,
I would say this culture is based on where you are.
yeah, it is.
Because if you live in a place that's not safe, I'm talking about culture. I'm not talking about race, because a lot of time people confuse the two.
Yeah, I agree.
If I live in a place that's not safe, then maybe I don't feel comfortable having my child walking to school or being in the backyard or a front yard. If you live in a place that's safe or safer, you might feel much more comfortable. So I think it's a question of culture instead of race.
Yeah, it is. Because I just recently saw some some white kids. I guess that would say to say to your point, they let their kids go to school on their bikes, and they're like, what? I think it was 10.
I know.
10 to 11, 50 years old.
Personally, I feel like
I think we shelter our
children a whole lot.
Especially
Even
from
in the
folks from the
playground.
Caribbean. And that's one thing we got to remember. All Black culture is not homogeneous.
That is true, yeah.
Jamaicans do different. We do different. Haitians. African Americans have their own way. So we must not put all of us Negroes in that same basket.
Yeah.
I think Haitian or maybe Caribbean, we have a very protective type of thing that, especially with the boys, sometimes that we at home, the way we treat them at home is different from the girls. We don't want the girls to walk to school. We want to be there.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's culture.
But we were not like that in Haiti.
I was going to say,
I
Haiti
feel like
is
Caribbeans
different.
are like that in the U.S.
Thank you.
Because in Haiti,
that's a U.S. system, though.
It's not
I think it's also a lot of West.
It's not home. Exactly.
Even in the playground, because I was watching an episode where they talked about how now in daycares, they're putting so many protection around when children play so that they don't fall or so they don't trip because of, lawsuits and things like that. But a psychologist was saying how that can also harm the child, making them think that life doesn't have obstacles. Where if they become older, then it's kind of like, well,
go smooth,
things are going to be so easy for me. I can't fall and hurt my leg, or I don't know what pain really feels like. So it's kind of like to say what you were saying is it's not really healthy for the child too.
Yeah, so my commitment will even the playing field.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Yeah.
But don't you think this whole drive to be first, be whatever, is a European thing? Don't you think that's more European than African?
But I feel like we push it much more. I mean, how is it European? How would you say it's European?
The idea of competition, that I want to be the first here. I want to do that. I want to beat you to this.
Yeah.
I want to. It's chien manger, chien dog eat dog. I think it's more European. For me, what I've always encouraged is that I'm not trying to be the best. I'm just trying not to be the last, but in the process, I become the best. So meaning that I'm coming from the bottom up.
You're right.
I don't want to be the last one in the line. So every now and then, I put you behind me. I put you behind me. That way, before I know it, I become the first in the line. But the psychology was not to beat you up. But I just wanted not to be the last one in the line.
Yeah.
Coming from that perspective, there's no stress.
So it's just about the person next to you rather than the people that are already ahead.
Yes.
Okay.
So now I'm not the last in the class. Okay. And that's your spot now.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So now there's no stress associated with it. So we can become the best. But what is important is that we need to change the mentality. We need to work from the bottom up.
Right.
Psychologically.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong. I think a little stress is healthy. And a little competition for the children too is healthy.
Right.
I just because we have the rate of suicide among teen and children, children's suicide, that never used to be a thing. But now it's like rampant, where you have to have system in place for early childhood mental health. Why? Because the children feel like, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
yeah,
that's
true.
Mine. What's yours?
Actually, because I had like two, I feel like I had two that kind of correlates with financial, and then this.
Right.
I guess I'll just pick that shall not glorify our struggles. Because in the Black community, often you see everybody just want to wear their trauma. I've been through this. I've been shot. I've been this. And it's not to negate the fact that, you've been through a lot of pain, and the pain is beautiful because it gives you resilience to move on, things like that. But often people lead so much with that, they become that trauma and they don't disassociate themselves from what happened to them. So then every time something doesn't happen, well, it's because of that. It's because
Does it give us the courage not to fall into a depressive state?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question.
Well, of course it's good. Nothing come out of it. That's no bad thing.
I think we should, but I also think that maybe if you want to combat that, it could also be, let's also bring the joy mindset to that, right? Let's lead with joy rather than the pain. Why does the pain have to be the one that we lead with?
But what
because you see what I'm saying?
But you go faster with pain.
But it's
scientifically
what if
proven.
that's what propel me
to make the better? I think we have so much more light and so much more than our. I think our pain is necessary, but at the same time, I don't want to make the pain me.
The
badge of honor.
Right.
It's like, well, I've been through so much.
Yeah, I think it's different. I think there's a difference between sharing your pain versus glorifying.
Thank you,
pain.
glorifying.
Which is what you say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Now I feel like people don't share their pain. It's glorified. Like and people are looking forward. Like, oh, this happened. Like it's almost expected. Like if I glorify my pain, then I get more attention.
Let me go even deeper, actually, Dr. JC. This is one of the reasons why me and my husband talk about this all the time. When you watch those Black movies, those Black, like Tyler Perry, for instance, I love this guy. But every time I watch his show now, as I'm starting to realizing it, as we talk about it, it's always showing the worst of our people. It's always showing this man was sleeping with that man,
You're
or
more than
this
your
guy
pain,
had to,
but that's not being shown.
rape their child for them to be successful like this and have, or this man had to cheat and beat on his wife all the time for her to be like, I'm a Black woman, I'm strong, I'm powerful, this is what I come from. It's always showing and glorifying the pain rather than our beautiful,
I want us to do a whole segment on that.
Yeah, that's going to be a better segment.
I'm going with what you said. It is also ego gratifying.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you that I have overcome that much.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It looks beautiful. It is appealing.
Yeah.
So, and one thing that we must accept is that what motivates you might vary. What motivates one person might not motivate another person. It varies from one person to another. Sometimes something that I want to do, I want to be angry. Sometimes there's something that I want to do, you want to be happy, whatever the case might be. So you need to do what is necessary to put yourself in the mindset that's going to help you accomplish the job. Even the idea of Zoe. Haitians are known as Zoe, if you know. Zoe is bones.
I don't know what that means.
Exactly.
Toughness.
Yeah, so
it's also a gang. After
it was a gang.
Zoe Pound picked it up, but the original idea is that it's the resistance of the people. We are strong. Zoe Pound, of course, spread all across Miami and the state of Florida and New York and a bunch of other places. But it's the same concept. It's the resilience and the strength of the Haitian people.
I wish we could just look at the resilience part in that instead of, wearing it like a badge of honor and always glorifying it. I think there's a... Go ahead.
I have a perfect example of what you just said. I think you touching on the resilience part too, but I feel like what you're saying is, for example, there was that man. He realized this wonderful event that we were in New York. He was like nice. He put it together. He had a little movie that came out and things, but he had to go through a lot of things to have it done. We got into the event and it was nice. It was like a nice experience. And then he got the microphone and started explaining to us all of the struggle that he had to go through to make this thing happen today. I had to take this thing. And by the time he finished talking, I felt like...
it took away from the experience.
Because I feel like we think we always have to lead with the pain and not looking for the context. I think that's where you're going with that. It's not that we don't need resilience.
Right. We need it.
We need the pain.
Part of life.
But understand context. That can't just be your card every time.
Exactly. Exactly.
I agree.
Right.
What about you, Mindy?
Mine is not as deep as yours. I had two. One was deep, but I'll end on the lighter note. Thou shalt respect other people's time. And
I feel
it's in two ways, right? It's both if you tell me to.
I thought we said no personal attack.
Myself included, right?
Okay.
I think it's two things, right? It's on the greater scale. It's not just, okay, you tell me some things at 2 and I'm here at 2 and that's when you're setting up kind of thing. Or, you know, it's 5, that's when I come to the party and I'm helping you, wiping the tables and putting the chairs out. It's more that, and if I send you an RSVP, take the time to fill that out and bring it back, right? It's not just, okay, the day before, oh, yeah, I'm going to come. No, there's a paper that was sent to you for you to complete it and send it back. And I think that it's frustrating, right? Because somebody take the time and energy to do certain things. I'll give you an example. I went to a baby shower and they invited some white coworkers and things like that. They told them the baby shower was at 7. They told them the baby shower was at 5. Right? They told the Haitians it was at 5. They told the white people it was at 7. You get it?
So they can show up at
black people at 5,
2 hours later.
They
I
told
don't think there's anything wrong with that.
At 7, right?
Yeah.
The white people got there at 7. They were the only people there.
Yeah.
Mind you, the black people knew 2 hours in advance.
Yeah.
They still weren't there.
Yeah.
To the point where the white people left before the baby shower started.
A baby shower.
They waited an hour. It was 8 p.m. They left. So 3 hours after they told the black people that the baby shower was going to be at 5. So as they're leaving, they're like, oh, we have somewhere else to be. We thought this was going to be like a short thing. Left the gifts and left.
Well,
to me, I was there and I'm like, it's disrespectful because these people left the house to come here and they get nothing. It's
culturally insensitive as well. The white folks should have understood that. They told me 7. I'm gonna get there at 8.
There was this white. There was the white.
The black baby shower.
I mean,
what about the people who came
4 hours later? You know how much work I had to do to understand their culture? I mean, why can't you?
Seriously, there's this white lady. She's married to a Haitian man. She was like, listen, when my Haitian people invite me to something out of the family, I already know. If they tell me 6 o'clock, I'm going to pull up at 8. That's what she said.
It is cultural, but it's also a disrespect.
It is. It is. We need to change that mentality.
On the lighter side of that, it's also the fact that our conception of time is different.
Exactly. That was my question.
We have none.
We
have none. We have
no. I disagree with that.
We have a concept. It's not that it's different. We just don't have it.
No, we do have a concept of time. We have a concept of time.
Which is what?
But is it, before
what's the next point?
Stop this. Is it still, can I disrespect you without the intention to do something?
Yeah.
If my intention was to do right. If my intention was to just be me, and in the process you happen to be disrespected, should you live with grace?
Yeah.
But I hear you. But if I tell you many times that I have felt disrespected in the past and you continue to do it, what is the excuse then? Because then it becomes, it's an intention now because I have told you before that I feel disrespected.
Because greater is that within me than...
Don't butcher the verse.
What's the verse? Give me the verse. What's the verse? What's the verse? Give me the verse. Give me the verse. What's the verse? Okay, whatever. But you got the idea. Give me the verse for a minute. Because what is within me, I know Haitian don't like when I speak about spirit. So I'm not. It is a concept. I think we have a different concept of time. The European concept of time is a linear time frame. Our time frame is cyclical. I know there are many people who say, well, folks from Latin America or other part of the world use the same time. That does not mean that we use a concept of time that goes in a circle. We are driven by the spirit. Funny thing is, here's what's interesting. You invite 100 people to that party. You tell them 5 o'clock. right around 8, you see all of them coming. It's not like they're communicated. Saying that, hey, I'm going to get there by 8.
That is
No.
true. That
But
is
they're
true.
all of them
They all
kept
put
at
up
the
same
stand
same
right.
time.
That is very true.
So what is in you that is speaking to you, that is also speaking to this one that is all the way 50 or whatever miles away?
Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world.
In the world.
1 John
Because
4 verse 4.
exactly. So it's the
I
spiritual
want to
concept.
hear the correlation between the verse and this time.
because that's since the spirit that is within
Is greater.
the Negro is
Okay.
greater than the will to follow whatever it is that you're asking.
The rules that's
But how is it that
outside.
we make it to the airport on time? So is it because we do
The
it for
spirit.
things that matters to us?
The spirit.
Because we make it to the
He has a rebuttal
Oh,
there.
if we
2
really
hours.
like the, if you really
They
want the
stress
job,
you if they that on
right?
time.
Yes.
We make it to the interview on time. We don't make it to church on time,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
But we make it to the airport like 3-4 hours before
Is
the time that we're supposed to be there. So is it because this is not too important, or is it because I'm looking at the next person like she's not gonna be there on time, she's not gonna be there on time, and
yeah.
we're all doing the same thing? That's why we don't make it there on time.
And also because I know you. We have that thing
Yeah,
too.
it's a
Like
relationship
it's my
thing.
people.
But to you,
know.
it's disrespectful, but to
yeah.
them, it's kind of like it's familiar.
But there is that thing too, and don't they say that in Haitian Creole, my geta? And also we always
I'll have
saying like
time.
God willing. You know,
yeah.
if God wants it to happen, then it's gonna happen.
That's psychology 101. Whenever show me a person who's always late, I'll show you a person who always think that they got time.
Yep. Good stuff, guys. Love it. Well, that's my time, y'all. But before I go, let me ask you, if you had one commitment that you think would help your community, what would it be? Leave a comment and let us know. I'll be sure to connect with you guys in the comment section. Bye now.